Okay. Greetings, dear respected audience. This is Esther Mala, your firstly and successful global educator, corporate trainer, SDG, ESG, and technology enthusiast from Malaysia, who not only focus on her life but also desires to see others excel in their lives by offering quality education for all. Dear precious audience, esteemed academician, our dedicated project team of Elegant Empire Education welcomes you to the Real Talk with Experts on Sustainable Development Goals Forum. We are privileged to have Assistant Professor Dr. Anjum Qureshi here with us today. She's our host and the project leader for this SDG forum. In this forum, we will explore transformative strategies that empowers communities through knowledge. Together, let us engage in insightful discussions that inspires action and foster collaboration for a sustainable future with our honorable, respected panelists. Uh, Let me introduce. She's not other than Dr. Avlokita Sharma from India. She is a mental health coach, author, and a public speaker. She has a degree in dentistry, and later she switched to PGD in health and hospital administration from Symbiosis Pune. Yeah, then after that, she did her career in clinical dentistry for a decade and she switched over to psychology. She has several certificates in courses in guidance, counseling, and family therapy. She operates her career guidance center, Kat Path. She is a proud mother and an army wife. So, you know, she's a very, very strong and independent, dynamic person. Yeah, she also writes blogs too. Her core mantra in life revolves around simplicity, sensibility, and sustainability. Let's uh, I welcome the bold and beautiful Dr. Ablokita Sharma. Welcome, Doctor.
Good evening. Thank you.
Yes, thank you for joining us in this vital conversation today with me and Dr. Anjum. Okay, so let's dive into our forum. For this, I would like to invite Dr. Anjum Qureshi, our project leader, to take over. The floor is yours, Dr. Anjum.
Here, greetings to everyone, and thank you, Dr. Esther, for this opportunity. I'm Dr. Anjum Qureshi from India, and it's really a great time. We'll be having a great time today because we are discussing on the topic SDG.
Yeah, we got to bear a bit because sometimes it happens, yeah, connection issues, but not always, sometimes. She will come back. She will come back while waiting for her, Dr. Blokita. So, how was your day today? What was your project? Maybe you can share while waiting for her.
I welcome you, ma'am, once again for this forum. And before
Oh, she's
discussing,
back
I just
home.
want to share, yeah. Our planet has provided us with an abundance of natural resources, but we have not utilized them responsibly and currently consume far beyond what our planet can provide. So here, we think that we must learn how to use and produce in sustainable ways that will reverse the harm that we have inflicted on the planet. So regarding this, I've looked at the ma'am. I would like just to know from you that the natural resources will be scarce in the next 2 decades in the way we are using it. So what do you think it can be done to save these resources?
Good evening, Dr. Anjum.
Yeah,
Um,
before we start,
first,
yeah, sorry. Sorry to interrupt. You have your PPT, Dr. Maybe you can upload first so you can share
Yeah.
while. Yeah. So Dr. Anjum, she will answer your first question first. Then in between, you just ask her to share, give her time to share what she has prepared. Huh? You can
Yeah.
share all at
Okay.
one go, or in between the questions, you can share also stop to listen. You can break it.
Okay.
Up to you.
Yes, since she has already asked the question, I think we should
Yeah, you
go ahead
answer.
with the question first. Yeah, meanwhile, uh,
Yeah.
see, firstly, it is imperative. I mean, we are having this discussion here. It is so imperative to discuss sustainable development goals. Our governments, of course, are doing their bit, but yes, as an individual, it most of us are confused at how we contribute to sustainable development. What can we do at individual level? I think we need to change our consumption habits. That is very, very important if we want the whole project of sustainable development to be achieved by 2030. This is what India is trying. So we need to shift the focus to more sustainable options. That is one. And whatever that we have in hand, how do we uh, contain it so that the future generations, they are left with equally, they are also able to enjoy the fruits of this humanity and this mankind the way we could. So the first step is definitely change our consumption habits.
Yes, ma'am. Of course, we need to change our consumption habits. In fact, we need to concentrate more on how we can be saving, how we can be conserving the resources that we are having. Now, when we talk about responsible production and consumption, we also need to know how we about our daily habits, as you were saying. Now, one of the habits that we see is the use of tissue paper, the use of disposable paper cups and paper plates that we have been using on a very, very large scale. In fact, we always worry about the plastic pollution. But the single use items like tissue paper, disposable glasses, and their frequent use, they unfortunately end up as litter when they are not disposed of properly. And of course, it makes our areas look untidy and unappealing. And moreover, it is also harming the animals when because they can get entangled in their intestines. It will can cause them injury or even death for the animals. The litter that we are causing, it can contaminate soil, water, and it can harm ecosystems. But there are much more that sometimes we don't worry. When we talk about pollution, we only talk about single plastic. So, how do you think that? And when we talk about responsible production and consumption, there are two more terms that we talk about. That is reduce and reuse. So, how do you think that the wide usage of tissue paper and disposable paper cups and glasses that we are doing, it is affecting the concept of reduce and reuse?
Totally, Dr. Anjum. Thankfully for Asian countries, I mean, of course, it is now this trend has caught up with India as well. The use of toilet papers. We generally, as Indians, we have been using water, but now since the whole Westernization, even hotels also, I personally feel that it should start from the individual level. But then, since the trend has already caught with the most middle class homes as well, we need to understand firstly that yes, like you said, that the widespread use of tissue paper totally undermines reduce and reuse principle. Now, how? Since tissue papers that we use in our washrooms, they have only single use, we understand that. Then they directly go to the landfills, we need to understand that. And then for the production of whole lot of tissue paper demand, how do we meet that? Then we also know how paper is made, how the pulp is generated, then it leads to deforestation. And of course, when these tissue papers are not properly disposed, then it leads to pollution as well. Now, people need to understand even a tissue paper, a simple thing like tissue paper that we use in the toilet or even sanitary napkins, they can also lead to pollution. People don't understand, okay, we have flushed it and we have used it, so, and it's just a paper. But then see how you need to go back in the production of the tissue paper, in the production of the sanitary napkins. So that awareness, and I'm very glad that Dr. Esther has taken up sustainable development goals. But even we if even if we are able to change the mind of one person, I think we have done our job. Now the tissue paper, which looks very simple and it is the go-to for most of us, the raw material, where does the raw material come from? Okay. And the energy that we consume to make one roll of tissue paper. Now that is also adding to the carbon footprint. What water you, I mean, I don't know, in countries like India, when we have ample resources of water, we have been using water to for most of our jobs. Why have we switched over to tissue paper? Then again, in an economy like India, we don't not have enough procedural, we have a lot of procedural implications in recycling of these products. Environmental damage, yes, if you go in the hills also, if you go, I mean, just a small thing, you go to the backside of a five-star hotel, you will see huge waste lying there. So you go for a holiday, but and then while crossing a mountain or while crossing the beach, I've shifted to Chennai, and stay very close to Marina Beach. The government has done ample for the citizens here. They have beautified the surroundings, and there are ample seats, there are ample hawkers. But it pains my heart to see that, I mean, government can't go to every individual to tell them that, okay, please pick up your litter after you have enjoyed a nice, good Sunday on the beach. There are big, huge waste baskets, garbage bins, but still the beach is littered. So who's responsible for that? We individuals are responsible for that. Now we expect that government should do everything. Government has already done the bit. They are doing their bit, but we need to be responsible citizens also. So, and yes, the whole the cycle of production and consumption, it is leading to environmental damage. Then we talk about why the glaciers are melting. Then we talk about big things, but then we do not go to the micro level, the individual level. So if one individual is sensible, if thinks that this is my responsibility not to use a tissue paper, it is my responsibility to go for alternatives of tissue paper, I think our job is almost done.
Yes, of course, our job is almost done. Ma'am, would you like to share some slides of your PPT is
Actually,
floating?
Dr. Anjum, I'm not able to. I
Or
don't
maybe
know.
you can send it to me. I will.
Acha, okay.
Okay, you
Yeah.
send it to Dr.
There's a
Zubair.
present button here. Just guide me. There's a present button here. What do I
Ah,
do?
okay, very easy. Yes, just go to present. Then you go to slides and PDF.
Okay.
Then you see upload your computer. Click on your computer.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
then you will find your file. Then you just look where your file is, which folder, and click on this. Double click and it will
Yeah,
upload.
I've uploaded it. Just tell me.
Yeah, yeah. It will take some time. It will take a little time to upload to appear here. Once it appears here, I will
Okay.
let you know.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, of course, as you said that though we are taking a lot of efforts, but it is again depends on the individual because, like we talked about tissue paper, there are a number of trees that are being cut down every day, and the kind of pollution it is causing. It is not we see it directly, but yes, of course, indirectly because again, as the goal says, responsible production and consumption. This is what we have been doing. This we need to change our habits Now, the other thing which I would like to know, like whenever we go for a research nowadays, even a research paper, everywhere some of the common terms that are being used is that ask for, for sustainable practices, for circular economies, and of course, because we are living in the world where innovation and technology is being used, and of course, it is going to play a very crucial role in achieving SDG 12 because it will enable reducing the waste, to promote circular economies, fostering sustainable practices across industries and consumer behaviors. So this is how technology is going to help us. So how do you think this innovation and the technology that we are using today, how will it help in achieving the goal of responsible production and consumption, or how it will help in achieving SDG 12?
Dr. Anso, innovation and technology, they play a crucial role in achieving uh, sustainability. Yes, they have a major role to play. Now, how? Now, you ask me, how do they play a role? That resource efficiency. See, if innovative technologies, if we come across innovative technologies or some startups that optimize the use of raw materials and energy consumption in the production process, 3D printing, I'm not very sure about the technology that goes behind it. 3D printing, I have heard that it is again a very, very resource efficient process. And I mean, the simple use of sustainable materials in production. The thing is that plastics, and we have got so used to, our industry had got so used to cheaper alternatives that we do not want to go for the sustainable options. That is for sure. Because for decades and decades, sustainable development goals have, I mean, how old are they? So in early 2000s, when India, the suddenly technology hit India, we went berserk. We did not know how to handle it. Now we are facing the downside of it. Biodegradable plastics, yes, we need to have some kind of innovation in uh, plant-based alternatives that can significantly lower the environmental impact on consumer products. A simple thing I want to just mention here, that we are talking about alternatives. Why can't we reduce our consumption? Now, simple thing. I watched a very good movie. It was on about fast fashion. If for example, if I make a point that I do not have to be a consumer on the basis of what is shown to me, I have to be a responsible consumer. Just to give an example about fast fashion, I go to a mall, and if I tell myself that this is a no shopping April, and I stick to it. I am not buying any new dress. I'm not buying any new dress for my children or anything for my house. See, the consumption will decrease. It starts at the micro level. Then, of course, once the consumption drops, production will also drop. It takes a time. Now we are caught in the circle that where we have become unconscious users. Whatever is shown on the social media, whatever is shown on the TV or the phone, we have to buy it. Another example is iPhone. I know it is a good gadget. I know all the advantages that it can offer you. But if your simple Android worth 12K is doing the job for you, why is the need to buy a new iPhone every year? Though we know that the new model or the new product that they launch will not have much differences from the previous one. But if you see,
Anyway, it's getting
I mean,
expensive, Dr. Sharma. It's getting expensive now.
yes,
US already increased the tariff, you know.
yes, Dr. Esther,
Ah,
you will be shocked at the line, at the queues that they were outside
ah,
the Apple store when the new model was launched in India. Now, this,
even in
and here
Malaysia.
we are talking about, yeah, here we're talking about sustainable development. Now, where is that old phone of ours going to go? It now we know that all the parts are not cannot be recycled. Now, what
Yes.
do? Either you keep it in your drawer for years and years, or you just I've seen mobile phones being thrown in the trash. It is shocking, but it,
It's
yes,
dangerous as well. Yes.
they
May
have that
explode with
happens.
it.
Now,
Yes.
if the company, if a responsible company like Apple thinks that we need to be part of this whole sustainable development drive, and they are put pressure by the government, by the legislation, I think once the production stops, the consumption will also stop. And that is what the whole aim of SGD 12 is. Consumption and production, they go hand in hand. Consumer awareness, again, it is very, very important. Digital platforms and apps, they help consumer make informed decisions, informed choices about life cycle of products now. And there has to be transparency in the supply chain also. When we I go to buy a new iPhone, it should be my duty to ask that what do I do with my previous one, and which
Yes.
all the parts are recyclable. And if I give the my old iPhone to you, what are you going to do? So these are the
Nobody
questions that
wants.
we need to ask. We don't. But we
Dr.
don't.
Sharma,
Yes, but we
you
don't.
won't, you won't believe, even when I wanted to change my car, my old car, because of some reasons, I wanted to buy a better car because so many years of driving a Malaysian car, so I wanted to drive a better car. Okay, so I thought of just passing on to my nephews, young fellas. They don't want to take even handphone. They say no. We have better car than yours. We have better handphones than yours. So the mentality of this century, young people especially, parents, they are not so much because they are always conscious about the amount of money they got to spend for the family, children's education, even their school money, even for whatever they need, top up their phone, their phone, their Wi-Fi, everything, they need money. So parents are a little conscious, but the young ones, you know they don't know, they don't suffer the pain. Even after that, even after they complete their school, they are looking for a job which can feed their lust for luxury. So parents got to start, everything starts from home, right? So the parents either, normally the mothers does because they are the most closest, they spend a lot of time with the children. So they are the one should tell the children what, why should we buy and why should we. You see, like for an example, sorry, because everybody's experience are the best. Like your experience is the best thing which you can describe. You cannot be sharing my experience with others. If you share your experience, it's very powerful. Same like Dr. Anjum. She has a personal experience. When she speaks about it, that is absolute truth. Same like that. I have this habit. What I'm giving example, like my mom from young, she always tell me, money doesn't rot. Money doesn't rot. Okay? Keep your money, don't waste it. So because of that, and my mom, I see the way she spends. Why I'm trying to share this at this time is that we talk about sustainability. Our audience who are not, who don't have that much of understanding about sustainability will thinking, what is this animal they are talking about? Inverted animal they are talking about, the alien they are talking about. It's something very simple. We can go down to our daily life. You see, so my mom, I see how my mom spends. Okay, how she spends. I adapt to the habit. But of course, when I start earning a lot on myself, of course, we have our certain desires, but I still make sure that I'm thrifty. Even if I need to spend a $10, I make sure that I'm using it. If I'm not using, I'm not going to spend. If I'm going to use it, it's really important. I don't mind spending $100. So every mother should educate their child on how to spend, what to buy, you know, like many of our housewives, Never mind, we will talk about this later. I want to hear what you got to share. That's why you are here. Later, we will chat about what I have. Thank you. You want to upload
Yeah,
your this thing? We are very excited to see that. If you can't, I don't see
yeah.
your upload. PPT
Yeah,
uploaded.
So the PPT
You
is
can send
uploaded
to me.
I
already, and I just have two more questions, so we can have after the PPT. Then we can have a look at your
Yeah,
PPT.
okay. Or just send
yes,
it to my WhatsApp. I
I'm
get it
trying.
ready. Yeah, just send to my WhatsApp.
Okay,
I
okay,
will
okay.
get it.
I think
Okay, so
that
by
would be
that time we will
easier.
continue the discussion. You send it to Dr.
Yeah.
Esther, and once we finish the discussion, then we can have your
Yes,
PPT.
yes.
Even
Okay.
that can be done.
Totally.
Yes, Dr.
Yes.
Esther, as you were talking,
Yes.
people think that sustainability and SDGs, there's something very big terms, you need to be very expert. But actually, we don't realize that how we are, behaving every day, how we are using all the things around us, your money and all the things. Like it can be your clothes, it can be phone, your books, dresses, anything. This is how we are using and how we are letting others to use our family members, our children. So it really matters a lot. And as we were talking, Dr. Kita, she was also talking about how this technology, how this innovation will help in achieving his digital. So here, if we see, if we nowadays the terms that are very trending, urbanization, industrialization, globalization. So, because of all these terms, what has happened is due to this advancement, there is a rise in economic inequality, particularly because there is a shift in the kind of labors demand, the kind of skills that you require. And sometimes it is felt that there will be concentration of wealth in certain sectors. For example, when you come to the engineering field, when the students they always want to have only computer science to study because they feel that there's a lot of careers in AI. But on the other side, the people are worried that because of AI, many are going to lose their job. Of course, but due to this industrialization and all, there is shifting labor demand. There is concentration of wealth. So, what do you feel, Dr. Avlikita? When we talk about all this, so how will the sustainable practices or the sustainable production practices will not have any negative impact on livelihoods, or how it will help in avoiding to create these inequalities?
Dr. Anjan, you brought up a very good point here. See, we go by trends. Whether it's a small cosmetic that we have to buy, or it is a career choice. Now, coming what you mentioned there, compute now the whole world is running after computer science and AI, and all the circuit branches and all the core branches are getting neglected. Why? It is all the trends. The car manufacturing companies haven't stopped making cars. They need mechanical engineers, but we are going by trends. Now, similarly, sustainable practice. See, sustainability is not the today's buzzword. I want to tell everybody who is watching this show, sustainability is not a new thing. Our generation has been taught sustainability by our parents and by their parents. What is sustainability is whatever that you have, try to make do in that. Our mothers, a simple thing, our mothers were the they were the greatest ambassadors of sustainability. Whatever the food that was left over, it was never thrown in the dustbin. It was used the next day. I come from the northern part of the country. It used to go in the atta is a dough. The leftovers used to go in the dough, and that vegetables or the rice, whatever that was left over the previous night, they were consumed to the extent that the refrigerator used to be empty at one point in the day. We don't do that anymore. Junk food was a strict no-no. Again, we talk about again, this was what sustainability was. That you now, if you look at Dr. Anjum and Dr. Esther, if you go on social media, so many memes and so many jokes are made on this effort that a mother used to do, that I am so middle class that we use the last drop of dishwasher, we use the last uh, uh, we don't even leave that pea size toothpaste. We
Yeah.
are so middle class that we use the soap to till the soap is scraped. It is not the middle class behavior. We are not poor. We are practicing sustainability. So
Yeah.
now there are accounts that are boasting of zero waste management and sustainable practices, but We are ready to follow those accounts. We are ready to follow buy their products, not realizing that our mothers, the grandmothers of our children, they have been doing it. They had alternative for every single thing. Grandfathers,
Yes.
they preferred walking to the nearest place. Today children don't do that. And our
Yes.
grand and mothers, like Dr. Esther brought a very important, very good point here. The money doesn't rot. Our mothers knew, even whether you came from a higher middle class or a lower middle class or a middle class, everybody was practicing that. Now suddenly, with the overconsumption in the 2000s, we went to that level that we have to talk about sustainable practices. Water wastage was not heard in our homes, food wastage was not heard in our homes, money wastage definitely not. So we were
Yes.
doing, and I don't know where we stopped doing that, where we just stopped practicing whatever was taught to us. So now, coming to the point with Dr. Anjum raised, Dr. Anjum, we need to make an assessment that how our sustainable practices are going to affect the production and how that in turn is going to affect the job sector.
Mhm.
We need to have a complete assessment. Then we need to address the inequalities. If there does arise some lacuna somewhere, we need to have to address that. Because governments, I remember a few years back when government announced that there will be, from tomorrow onward, there will be no plastic, it is a complete ban on plastic. Now
Yeah,
just
plastic.
announcing, yeah, not just plastic bags. Now announcing suddenly, see, you need to understand that firstly, one decision, I just cannot stop using plastic just because I was told to. What about the production that was already sitting in the factories? What about the workers who were involved in making plastic bags? The supply chain, the traders, and consumer is we are at the last rung of the whole production process. We are the consumers. So whatever, if you will not give me a plastic bag, fine, I'll switch over to a thela, cloth bag or a paper bag. But think about the people who are involved in the whose livelihood is dependent on plastic bags. So I know the harm of plastic bag. At the same time, government needs to give me an alternative. So what are
Yes.
you going to do with the job of those workers who were involved day and night in the production of plastic bags? So that is first. Then we need to promote equity. Now that is not an
That's why there
individual
are
level.
many industries. Yeah, doctor. That's
Yes,
why many industries they have moved to e-waste. Okay, rather if you think that plastic, we should stop using plastic. Okay, now they have switched. We can still, because you see the number of people who consume certain things or use something is far more than the people who involved in the industry, the laborers who involved in producing like plastic. Okay, so we have to give them alternative job opportunities, or maybe the industry itself, like the factory which is making plastic, should shift to e-waste or do something else. Yeah, rather than producing more and more plastic. Like in Malaysia, some places there's no plastic bag at all, and some places if you need, because sometimes uh, they can't help it, right? Sometimes they go without carrying any recycle bags and all that. Suddenly they have to buy, so you pay for it. If you want plastic bag, like Malaysian, you have to pay 20 cents. You pay for it. So they know the pinch, the pain of paying the money. You see? So this is what we can do. You see?
Yes,
So
of course. And then in again, a government should encourage innovation in sustainable practices. Also, whole lot of engineers are getting churned out of these universities. Involve them. Get your think tank to work on that, and I'm sure they will come up with some great innovation technologies which we are not able to think of. EVs, we had never thought we'll switch over to electronic vehicles. Of course, the whole, I mean, we still need to do a lot. In the Dr. Anjum comes from an engineering department, so he knows better. EVs, we need to do a lot on EVs, but yes, again, a great source of, sustainable way to go with the sustainable practices. Then we need to strengthen the institutions. We need to get a state governments, local bodies, and the central government needs to work hand in hand. It just can't be the work of one person or one institution. We need to involve NGOs. We need to involve every single person down the chain who's a consumer, who's a producer, and who is the middleman. Then only we can achieve that.
Yes, ma'am. And that was really a very beautiful point that we have been practicing sustainability, but still we did never knew it that we are having sustainable practices at home and don't know where this trend went on. And now we have to talk so much about it and we have to raise awareness on it. And as you said, yes, we need to have government, the NGOs, the different government bodies to work together. But one more thing here I would like to say is if we talk about this, like the different kind of practices that we are having at home or we are having at the industrial level and all. But if we talk at the global level, the developed and the developing countries, they have different approaches for sustainability because they have different priorities, they have different focus areas. For the developing countries, they focus on economic growth and poverty reduction. The developed countries, they are focusing on environmental protection, social equality, reducing the environmental impact of consumption and production patterns. So, yes, I can say that just talking about sustainability as an overall term, at sometimes that was not sufficient. We have to, whenever we decide on something, design on some rules and regulations. It should be different because these developed and the developing countries have different priorities. So, what do you think if you think about developing countries? So, what do you think are the best ways to integrate sustainability into economic development plans for the developing countries?
See, India is one of those countries which we the voice is echoing, I think. Okay.
Sure, please continue.
Yeah. See, in order to effectively integrate sustainability into economic development in developing countries like India, we need to firstly focus on renewable energy. Of course, we have done away with most of the thermal plants, but then that is first thing we can do. Green infrastructure again. Now, what is green infrastructure? There, I've recently, researching for this topic, I came across green homes. I there's this person, and I'm forgetting, somewhere in the Himachal. He has a house which is totally eco-friendly, without without much use of plastic. So even when he was laying the roof of his house, he used earthen pots, mitti ke bartan, mitti ke chote chote bartan, like small earthen pots he used so that the roof could be cool in the summer heat. Now, again, a small person from a small village in another part of the country with not much resources, and but he just thought of an idea. Now, that is what we need to encourage. That is now that idea can be developed into mass production. Of course, the whole R&D will go into it, but we need to think over those alternatives. Then circular economy, again a major backbone of sustainability. Then encouragement of inclusive policies that promote social and economic equity. And again, I'm talking about our country, we need international cooperation to achieve our sustainable development goals, because our, like you said, our focus is different from the developed countries. We can't afford, we are a big country with huge population. So going to the last level of the population, to the last person in the population, to adopt sustainable practice, it's a herculean task. It is a very difficult task, but it can be achieved with the forums like this, with the social awareness in schools. Even, see, a few schools, they have started practice of steel tiffin box. Now the teachers are encouraging children to bring food in steel tiffins. Now, steel tiffin, nothing happens to the steel tiffin for a very long time. You can easily wash at home. It can, if you put it out in the sun, the food gets warmer. So you need to think of those alternatives. There are a lot of there is one Instagram account that I follow, that a very senior lady, she's following the simple practice of making compost from her kitchen waste. A simple practice, again a very sustainable practice. She takes the
Sonakshi,
bag everywhere. She
is it
doesn't
Sonakshi?
take what do you call it, those straws. She takes the whole metal straw with her everywhere. Now IKEA, a big brand like IKEA home store, they have introduced steel straws. So we have alternatives at hand, and India, a developing country like India, can also follow it, but half of them are not aware. So, and what do we do? In so the quick thing is, what if coconut seller is offering me coconut with the plastic straw, I take it. Now that is my, the onus lies on me, that I give the straw back to the coconut seller, and I take out my steel straw from my pocket and use it. But we don't do it. If, most of the time we are embarrassed that, okay, I have to carry my steel ka dibba everywhere, I have to carry my steel bottle everywhere, I have to carry my steel straw everywhere. Oh my God, that is so embarrassing. I'm so uncool. But then, being cool, where are we heading? Where are we
Yeah.
heading that we have to? Yes. So, and I am not bothered. This is the sustainable development goal is now my country's agenda. Okay,
Not
they
for
have
me.
to send a
Not
report
for
to
me.
UN. Yeah.
Yeah, for
So
me.
I am not. No, my country is not. My country will not be able to send the report to the Nations, and will cut a sorry figure there if I, as a citizen of this country, is not responsible enough. If I am not doing my bit. So
Yes.
the bottom line is, we all need to work together. We can't just leave it to the local agencies. We can't leave it to the central government or the state government. We all need to work towards it. And yes, it is beneficial for us in the long run. What are we going to leave for our children? You tell me. If
Hmm.
we enjoyed the planet thoroughly, we consumed all the resources, and we are very happy that okay, I am happy, I'm satisfied, my children can manage on their own. So that approach is wrong. We need to work
Yeah,
together.
they're going to suffer. But
Of
again,
course.
again, that's what I like to share is that we have to start. We have home, we have society around us, and also industries. Yeah, organizations and industries. So these three sectors in our life circle, we got to manage it at every level. So, like you see in schools, we have to teach the children, even from the preschool, we have to teach children how to do. Like when I was operating my preschool, I used to do a lot of activities where you use recycle items. Like the toilet roll you see inside, you have the roll that what they call it is core. You know, the core. You can teach them activities. Don't throw. How you can use it. You know, at home. So when you train, this is only one example. When you teach the children to use it, reuse it, the recycle item, rather than throwing it into the bin, you see, we can delay throwing in, right? Some of it you can use for many years. So why throw now? And you don't have to spend money to buy another plastic, a same item which you can do to buy an item which does not biodegrade, you see, like plastics. So we have to, no choice. In school, at home, we start from young because no point we go to the organization, like say in the office, we just want to implement that, but we can still do it. It can help, but it's a bit too late because the young adults, they already set their mind. It became a habit that they don't care about what's going to happen around us. All they know is that I want to live comfortably. Am I happy? Yeah, if I'm happy, it's enough. But from young, if you cultivate this habit of doing recycling, don't throw, waste food. Like what you mentioned just now, there's a lady who been recycling and not doing decompose. I think one famous person, one popular person is Sonakshi Bakshim in Instagram. She does that at home. She teaches a child everything, even for the birthday party. She doesn't believe in buying balloons. Say balloons, don't buy. Avoid buying balloons.
Yes.
You can do
Yes.
a lot of things different. It's a very good Instagram. I know her dad, but I don't know her personally, but I follow her. I see it's very, if every parent does that, you see, day by day things will change. Rather than we are teaching the adults, we teach the young ones for the future generation. Then it will be easier for them to adapt to the lifestyle. Yeah. So okay, let's go back. Is the questions over?
Yes, the questions are over, and
Okay.
yes,
The
ma'am.
PPT is ready.
As you were saying, yes, of course, the change in
Okay.
habits. That I also think there should be a change in the mindset, because when we
Yes.
hear this term responsible production and consumption, we think it like the industry should take care of it, of
Yes.
manufacturing sustainable things and all,
Uh,
having
don't worry.
eco-friendly
Don't
products.
worry
But
about those
actually,
in
we,
business.
yes, we as people, like you talked about steel tiffin box, steel water bottles. So this has to be propagated, because the steel tiffin box and all, Dr. Avlita, you must be agreeing that when we were in school, we never used plastic tiffin box. We
Yes,
used
totally.
steel tiffin box. Yes. But now, if we send the steel tiffin boxes, the children say, "What is this? We can't have this." I
Outdated.
don't think they have to get
Outdated.
it.
They want colorful
Yes,
things
that
because they think
plastic
they're
tiffin box, they're
priceless.
so fancy.
Yeah.
They're available in different colors with different cartoons. So the children, they want to have that plastic tiffin box. They want to have that plastic bottles because they are very very fancy. Whereas the
Very
steel
good.
bottles and tiffin box, they're very simple. In fact, yes, we need to change our habits when we talk about responsible consumption. Yes, it relies on how we are using it. We need to
Yes.
have choose for reusable products, like for going for shopping we can take a bag with us so that we
Mm.
reduce the plastic waste. And nowadays in malls, I have seen in some of the malls in India, if you don't have your bag, you will have to pay like some 20 rupees or 40 rupees for getting a cloth
Yes.
bag.
Yes. Uh,
So
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah.
this is we need to change ourselves somewhere, I think. And
Mm.
yes, if any more questions, Dr. Asad, from your side, or I think Dr. Avlith
No,
was
it's
also
just that
waiting for this question.
there's no really questions, but we can check because this is a very interesting topic. Our session is supposed to be 30 to 40 minutes, but sometimes we allow longer because if it's very important topic, we have our panelists and we have anything to share. It doesn't matter because people are learning from our sharing. Somebody will pick up something, so it's not a waste of time. So I think shall we move to our PPT because I think it's going to be very
Yes,
interesting.
yes.
It's colorful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I share. Okay. Okay. So, Dr. Sharma, can you move the slides? Can you move the slide? No, right?
no, I am
Can
not
you
able
move?
to.
Okay. You just tell me next and then I will move. Okay.
Yes, yes,
So start.
yes, yes. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
So basically, yes, I wanted to tell the audience what is sustainable consumption and production. So I've put the two very, very simple pictures out also there. So it is the use of goods and services that meet basic needs while minimizing the use of resources and reducing waste. And now waste again is a major, major topic of discussion.
Yes.
Sadly, in India, we do not have a very effective. I don't know about Malaysia and other countries, but we do not have a very effective waste management process. Delhi Transport Nagar, if you enter Delhi, you will be greeted by a huge mountain, and you'll be thrilled. Okay, the Delhi has a mountain. No, it is a mountain of garbage.
Oh my
So,
God.
and imagine the toxic fumes that emit from that mound of garbage. It is so harmful. So, all your iPhones and your Zara tops, they all go to that mound because you just throw them carelessly. So sustainable consumption and production, they are the two sides of the same coin. When consumption drops, production will definitely drop. Now the production is increasing because there is consumption, there is
The demand.
demand for new products every single day. So yes, that slides is self-explanatory. We move to the
Yeah.
next
So
one.
everybody got to ask themselves, am I going to
Yes,
live? Am I going to live in an environment where it's going to be dirty? There's huge mountains and piles of garbage around me. Am I going to live? You see, if
yes,
no,
totally.
then start doing it. So if every one of us start doing it in our life, then everybody start to do it. So it will reduce. We cannot completely eradicate this problem. Yeah, pollution, all this. Yeah, because people they don't listen until they are affected. Yeah, but we can reduce. Yeah, reduce this wastage. You know, wastage in the sense that we can recycle. We don't simply throw away items. We don't buy what we don't need. Or we don't use that much. We don't buy. Find alternative for it. Okay, just go next. Yeah, shall I move to next slide?
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, these are the India's initiatives that have highlighted that the country like India, what are basic needs? Food, water, and energy. Now, this is a what I have tried to show it here, and if we meet these demands, and if we make a balance with this, there should be no food shortage, but the sustainable practices should be involved. There should be no water shortage. Lot of what do you call the villages in India, they do not have safe drinking water. And yes, electricity, of course most of the villages are electrified, but again some remote areas are not electrified. Now at one hand India is facing this challenge of food, water, and energy, and at the second hand the country is jostling with sustainable practices. So it is a huge task for the government agencies as far as an individual level. So that is what I try to show, that we need to work hand in hand, that our basic needs are also met, and at the same time uh, we are also able to make the countries we are able to follow most of the sustainable development goals by 2030. Next slide please. Yes. Now here I've tried to highlight the whatever the steps that government is taking. Again, the government is promoting organic farming on a very very big way, and but then that doesn't go to the small farmer, the farmer that has a small land holding. The organic farming really doesn't work. Now we need to work on that level. Sadly, stubble burning is that calls for a fine. uh, I come from the northern part of the country and I come from agricultural background. It calls for a fine, but sadly, farmers still practice stubble burning. Imagine the harm that it causes to the environment, but nobody is bothered because the system is such that they generally get scot free. So, in spite of a heavy fine of stubble burning, every year in March and April, the entire capital of Delhi is choked because the farmers in the surrounding states. I mean, I don't know, and then there's a whole lot of politics also involved. So, I mean, instead of making it a political issue, it should be an environmental issue, I think. We do not need to think of bringing down a local or a government agencies every single time. We need to think about environment also, and it goes both ways. Again, India's journey has just started. We are a big country, we have a big population, and putting the thought of sustainability to the last man standing, it is difficult, but it is doable. Again, government is again yes, a very major good initiative that taken up by government is in the healthcare sector involving the naturopathy, Ayurveda, and homeopathy also. So,
Yes.
if you look at it, maybe for some other day, these naturopathy, homeopathy, and Ayurveda, they involve a lot of sustainable practices. The strip of the medicine that we generally go and buy crocin. So the strip is made of aluminum foil. What we do is we are so unconscious, we just throw it. You're not realizing it. That is also a small strip that when it gets finished, it is also harming the environment. But we never really think about it. So, simple product like sanitary pads or tampons, even the pot of a cold cream. Now, once the cold cream is now the moisturizing cream is finished, what do we do with that plastic pot? We just throw it. So every lipstick pot, I mean lipstick holders.
Oh,
So
this.
yes, we are all contributing to the landfills, and it is scary. And if it's scary, then only we'll take initiatives.
Yes.
So I think we all we need to gear up now. It's high time.
Yeah, you see, like I mentioned just now, unless they are affected, they will never change. So if we adapt to this mentality, our children going to suffer. Sooner or
True.
later, we are going to suffer. Like you see, let me before we wrap up. Yeah, I have this one thought. You see, like Indians celebrate many festivals, and among a lot of festivals, like what you mentioned just now, the farmers might after harvest and all that they burn. They do a lot of open burnings and all that. In Malaysia, it's controlled, and they have their own way how they manage that. The waste after harvesting. But like say, like festival of what we call it in India, uh, the harvesting festival. In South India, they call it Pongal. In
In North, we call it
Makarati,
Baisakhi. Yes.
Makarati,
Baisakhi, that April, Baisakhi comes, it is again a harvest festival. So we
Yes.
celebrate
Makarati.
that.
A different part of India, they call it different, but it is the
Yes.
same festival which the Hindus celebrate here in Malaysia because they are
Yes.
Indian. They are still Indian, Malaysian. Oh, okay, even in Mauritius, they still do that. They are Indians. Wherever Indians are, they celebrate. But the difference is, thank God, in Malaysia, we don't do open burning before the Pongal festival, before the Makrati, because they have this tradition of burning all the old items, old clothes, and all that. Rather than burning it, give it away. If you don't want to use it, give it away or dispose it in a rightful manner rather than
Yeah.
burning it. Now you are having fun seeing it being burned. So change the mentality, like what you say, Dr. Sharma. Mentality is very important. So you just imagine a small country like Malaysia compared to India, we stop doing all that. We don't practice that at all. No, no burning for this festival except they play firecrackers during the Deepavali. Okay. Other than that, no open burning. So in India, if I think the young ones, okay, they adapt to the latest this development. They understand a bit about sustainability. Even they don't understand the word of sustainability. They feel that why should I do that? Why should I burn it? So if they have that sort of understanding, they shouldn't do it. That's good enough. That's a first step to resolve all this problem. Okay, since Dr. Avlokita has to go, and I think Dr. Anjum, we got a few things we can just short while we just talk. Let her go first before we do total closing. Is it okay? Just about 1 minute. Is it okay? Yeah. If you can stay, Dr. Sharma, please stay. Okay. First one is about the tissue papers. Yeah. The tissue papers and kitchen towels and all these toilet papers. Yeah. You can't avoid it. Like you say, these toilet papers, the kitchen towels are normally more expensive compared to toilet papers. Okay. We not only use in toilet.
Excuse me,
Okay.
Dr. Esther. Can I leave, please?
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
so
Please,
much. Can
please
I
carry
leave?
on. Yeah.
I
Thank you
will
so
go.
much. Please carry on. You have
Thank you
another
so much.
11
Thank
minutes.
you, Dr. Anjum.
Thank you for
Thank
coming.
you.
Thank you
Thank
for
you, Dr.
coming.
Esther. Thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah, we will talk a short while and we will close. Thank you. Okay, so these toilet papers, other than toilet use, okay, if you want to use in toilet, we can substitute with better, more hygienic items like cotton face towel, which you can wash and use it, recycle it. unless something is very dirty, you can't use it, then you use that for that purpose. We cannot completely eradicate the use of all these toilet papers and all that, because like you say, you have when we ladies, when we cook in the kitchen, you see oil spilling, when you fry something, oil all around the wall, on the stove. You need not use cloth, because to wash that again you use soap water and water, right? What you can do, fast way to reduce the use of water and soap, we can also use this tissue papers, which are like a toilet roll, which is very much cheaper rather than using a kitchen roll to wipe. That's what I do at home. Wipe first before you use a hand towel to wipe it. You see, so it will be even more cleaner. So for this kind of purposes, like you see in your garage, there's a grease on the floor or somewhere, so you can use these tissue papers, you know toilet papers, to clean it, because it's easier, because you have to dispose. Again, it's all right to use, but not too much, not extensive use in every area, because tissue papers, toilet papers, they are biodegradable. But again, if we use a lot, we are using fibers from tree. Okay, they to make tissues, they like facial tissues and all that, they use a virgin pulp wood. So if you can minimize, that will be good, so that our trees need not be cut down, and we consume too much, and affect our environment, okay, which cause flood and landslides and all that. Every action we do, there's a reaction, escalates to another situation. And then what I was sharing just now, in school, every level, from preschool, primary, and even high school, we have to teach. We must have activities, workshops, must, on how to recycle whatever we have. So the children will be more aware on how to use whatever they have, like waste, and also save money, safe environment, yeah, and also we can also teach them to be more creative. Yeah, creative. We need children, our students, to be more creative. When the teachers work together with the children in doing some creative things, teachers become more creative, their brain becomes more active as they grow older. If we don't give this kind of creativity to come into our life, we don't practice this, we become lazy, we become like not so creative. So together, when the teachers and the students are working together on this kind of activities, it helps everybody. Yeah. So I think we are reaching an hour now, so we shall close the session. I'll pass to Dr. Anjum. Please, I talked too much already, or you have anything to share before we close? Please close. Dr.
Yeah,
Anjum.
nothing much, but yes, of course, the same things like when we talk about this, uh, we need to create awareness. As I said, we need a change in mindset, not just change in habits, but change in mindset. Because when we talk about recycling, when we talk about using something for a very long time, the people start doubting us if this person is okay.
Ah,
So this is the kind of mentality that the people are having. Like you talked about when you were thinking of replacing your old car and you wanted to give it to someone, they said we don't want it.
yeah,
So
they want to buy better
yes,
car than
yeah,
you.
they always want me. Even I have seen my students. Like we have a very normal phone, but the kind of phone, the kind of laptops they are using, and when we suggest that okay, you can be buying a second-hand laptop, even that can be doing for you, but they don't want.
They don't
They
want.
spend so much
Actually,
money
I
on
don't use
buying
iPhone.
things.
I am not for iPhone just because the price. But I find Samsung,
Yes.
I've been using all the time Android phone, especially Samsung. Samsung and Toshiba. Toshiba is for my laptops. I love it, but now no more production. But I always believe in using Android. I do not spend money for that. I rather eat better
Yeah.
food to keep myself healthy, you know. You see, so we have to teach the children to think in this way. You can enjoy a luxury life, but which one? You have to be very selective on what you need and what you need not. You see, like phone, if you can serve the purpose, then you don't have to waste your money. iPhone, and now you see after US, our James Bond have already imposed tariffs on many countries. So it's going to affect it's already affecting everybody. Everybody are like now, all the economists, politicians, every government is now very upset about the increase of the tariffs. You see, so how? The price of the iPhones. Don't teach your children that, yeah, we know iPhone is a it's lifestyle. It doesn't mean you carry a iPhone means you are very highly educated. You are very, I just don't know. I don't understand what kind of lifestyle is that. I don't want to understand. You see, when my Android can serve the same purpose, you see, so this is what we have to adapt in everything. Even my sister, why I say always mention this, start from home, because I see how my parents started from home and how it it's not affect in a negative way, how it gives great impact to my life and how I practice and how it helps me. And we do that with our children, my nephew, my nieces. I teach them to do the same thing because my nephew and nieces are very close to me, when they are small. So I teach them how to do it. Sustainability, we have started very much earlier. The word becomes so important now because we are in danger. That's why we are every time talking about sustainability. But we have started doing sustainabilities from our grandmother's time, where they reuse, right? Like what Dr. Sharma was mentioning, what left over the night before, they put into the atta and make into a chapati, and then they eat, they consume it. So this is how they live. So it doesn't mean, but again, we can avoid that. Try to cook what is needed, not too much. It's always good to eat fresh food rather than keeping in the fridge. Fast food, all this is going to affect our health. Yeah. Okay. So, Dr. Anjum, just can you please do closing?
Thank you, Dr. Sir. It was really a very wonderful discussion that we had regarding responsible production and consumption. And of course, from today's discussion, what I learned is like when we think that, oh, the term sustainability, when we hear the term circular economy, it seems to be very difficult, something very technical, and something where we think that we should be having, we should be some expert or we should have lots of knowledge, but we never know that the daily practices that we have been doing till now, that is, we are actually going towards sustainability. And we just need to popularize more. We just need to have a change in some of the habits, as even Dr. Avlakita pointed out, that there is some gap. We don't know where this gap has been created and how it went on. But yes, we need to identify the gap and we need to bridge that gap so that we will be achieving this goal. And thank you very much for your time, Dr. Avlakita, and yes, of course, Dr. Esther, for this wonderful,
Yes.
and thanks to wonderful audience. I can see so many comments coming in as the
Yeah,
session
yeah.
is going on. Thank you very much, all of you, and have a
Yeah,
good
thank
day.
you, Dr. Anjum. Thank you, Dr. Anjum, for being such a wonderful host. And, really, it's really a very fruitful discussion. We can go on and on and on. Yeah. So I thank you, dear audience. Thank you for our faithful supporters who spend their time. We always have our faithful supporters who come and just be with us and give comments. Even watching with us is good enough. Yeah. So because we want you to benefit, you can also share, audience, please just don't watch or just uh, comment with stickers, and all that. Just ask questions. Our panelists can answer you. Share whatever you have ideas. Like you say, we're talking about toilet papers, tissue papers, kitchen towels, how we can minimize the use. You can also just put some remarks there. Yeah. So we welcome you. Yes. So I think we had a very fruitful and hour show forum today. Until we have another wonderful panelist next week. We already have everything full this month. Yeah, we are looking forward as well. And tomorrow, please join us in professional masterclass with another important figure, which the topic is suspense. Okay, we'll meet tomorrow at 7 p.m. IST on professional masterclass. Thank you, Dr. Anjum. Thank you for dear audience for your precious time. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you. Good night.